Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman offers a liberating reframe of one of the most powerful human emotions. Fear is not a fixed feature of who you are, but a learned circuit in the brain. And the same mechanisms that install fear can be used, deliberately, to dismantle it. Understanding how fear actually works in the nervous system, Huberman argues, gives us real tools to master it, not by eliminating fear, which would be dangerous, but by changing our relationship to it and rewiring the responses that hold us back. Huberman begins with the brain's fear machinery, at the center of which sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. The amygdala acts as a threat detection center, constantly scanning for danger and, when it perceives a threat, triggering the body's alarm response, the surge of adrenaline, the racing heart, the heightened alertness, the impulse to fight, flee, or freeze. This system is ancient and essential. It kept our ancestors alive. The problem is that in modern life, and especially in people with anxiety or past trauma, this alarm system can become overactive, firing at things that are not truly dangerous, or staying switched on when it should have switched off. The crucial insight from the neuroscience is that most of our specific fears are learned, not innate. We are born with only a couple of hardwired fears. The rest, fear of public speaking, fear of failure, fear of specific situations, are learned through experience, wired into the brain through association. Something frightening happens, and the brain links the circumstances to danger, so that similar circumstances later trigger the fear response. This is how fear circuits are installed. And here is the hopeful part. Because these fears are learned and wired through experience, they can be unlearned and rewired through experience as well. The brain that learned to be afraid can learn not to be. Huberman explains that the key to rewiring fear lies in the brain's capacity for neuroplasticity, its ability to change its own wiring in response to experience. But not all experience rewires fear equally. Simply avoiding what we fear, which is what anxiety drives us to do, actually strengthens the fear circuit, because the brain never gets the chance to learn that the feared thing is safe. Each avoidance confirms the fear. To rewire fear, we have to do the opposite of what fear demands. We have to approach the feared thing in a controlled way, so the brain can update its prediction and learn that the danger is not real. This is the neuroscience behind exposure, the gradual, repeated confrontation of a feared situation, which allows the brain to relearn safety. When we face a fear and nothing bad happens, repeatedly, the brain's threat circuit gradually recalibrates. The amygdala's alarm, no longer reinforced by avoidance and confirmed danger, begins to quiet. This is why courage is not the absence of fear but action in its presence, and why every act of facing what we fear, rather than fleeing it, physically rewires the brain toward less fear. Avoidance feeds fear, approach starves it. Huberman adds important tools grounded in the biology of the stress response. Because fear and anxiety involve the body's physiological alarm, we can influence them through the body. He emphasizes techniques like controlled breathing, particularly extended exhales and the physiological sigh, which directly calm the nervous system by shifting it out of the fight or flight state. When you slow and lengthen your breathing, you send a physical signal of safety to the brain, dialing down the alarm in real time. This gives us a way to manage the acute physical experience of fear, making it possible to stay present and take action rather than being overwhelmed. Huberman also reframes the relationship between stress, fear, and performance. The physical arousal of fear, the racing heart, the heightened alertness, is not inherently bad. It is the same arousal that accompanies excitement and peak performance. How we interpret this arousal matters enormously. If we interpret the pounding heart as a sign that we are in danger and falling apart, the fear escalates. If we interpret it as our body mobilizing energy to meet a challenge, the same physical state becomes fuel for performance. Learning to reframe the physical signals of fear as readiness rather than danger is a powerful tool, and it reflects the deep truth that our interpretation of our own physiology shapes our emotional experience. There is a deeper message in Huberman's work on fear, that we are not simply prisoners of our emotional reactions. Because fear is a learned circuit governed by the plastic brain, we have genuine agency over it. We can, through deliberate practice, facing our fears in graded steps, using the breath to calm the body, reframing arousal as readiness, physically reshape the neural circuits that generate our fear. This does not mean becoming fearless, which would be neither possible nor desirable, since fear protects us. It means no longer being ruled by fears that hold us back from the lives we want to live. So Andrew Huberman's neuroscience of fear delivers a genuinely empowering message. Fear is not a fixed part of who you are, but a learned circuit in a brain that can rewire itself. The fears that limit you were installed through experience, and through deliberate experience, approaching rather than avoiding, calming the body through the breath, reframing arousal as energy, they can be rewired. Courage, in this light, is not a personality trait you either have or lack. It is a skill, built on the biology of the brain, available to anyone willing to face their fears in the right way, and every act of facing what you fear physically reshapes you toward freedom.